What's up? What's up? What's up? Hello, my beautiful Nubian queens and kings out there that are listening right now. Thank you so much for pressing play. I'm super stoked to be here. My name is Kanikia, your host for Uncharted Melanin, the podcast, a unfiltered podcast where creativity and expansion meets Black excellence. Daily raw and unfiltered content Monday through Friday, and interviews every Thursday. You aren't going to want to miss today's episode, so let's dive right in. Aloha and hello. It is Monday, the start of our week, and I am ready. And I hope you are too. If you are tuning into this and it is not Monday, you is already ready. We're all here. Let's get into it. Yesterday for me was 8/8, the Lionsgate portal, and it was absolutely beautiful. Some very intense energy around, the new moon and just this very powerful day. It was just very beautiful. I got a chance to check out the Van Gogh Museum with a lovely friend, and that was absolutely beautiful. We did yoga, and it was just such a beautiful way to start the morning. I absolutely loved it. After we did that, I came home and got a chance to go on a sister date with my sister, where we went to the beach. Played in the water like little girls. It's probably one of my favorite pastimes to do. And from there, I organized my week and how I wanted it to look. I really, really enjoyed that. I've been craving more structure in my life and really figuring out what works for me, what doesn't work for me, and ultimately working on this divine schedule so I can be able to do all the things that I love and more. But with that being said, I have a busy mind for sure. Like, it can be hard to calm my thoughts, or I can be forgetful at times. So creating a schedule has been a saving grace for me right now. I'm not exactly where I want to be as far as creating schedules, because I'm very much in the learning process. However, I am happy that I am actively working towards it and actively just all around curating a schedule that is going to set me up to be that millionaire. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, I tell you guys all this because sometimes with those thoughts just running through my head all the time, or just because I can become anxious, and anxiety and racy minds is something that I feel like as a collective we all struggle with, especially with this new generation. There were just so many things to be worried about. There are so many things that can take us away from the present moment. And yesterday when I was in yoga class, the beautiful yoga instructor simply said, while we were in Warrior 2, a very strong, beautiful pose, she says, if you were leaning forward, you're anticipating the future. And if you were leaning back, you are in your past. Find that sweet spot where you can be right in the middle. Today, I want to give you guys some tips on how to soothe your anxious mind and how to really ground down in the present moment. A couple of things that I love doing that are super helpful. So when I wake up in the morning, I like to start my day with meditation. I love to wake up and do 3 sun salutations to ground my energy into the present moment, into the earth, but also to do a body scan and to figure out what I am actually feeling, to cleanse my energy and my aura of the night and the dreams, and to really just focus on today, what I have to do, and move forward. So for you, this can look like a couple different things. curating a morning routine that feels good to you. Maybe it's not yoga, but maybe it's going for a walk. Maybe it's watering your plants. Perhaps it is a meditation that feels good to you. And if you're looking for a meditation, you can check back to a couple of my podcast episodes where I have some grounding meditations that would be really helpful for you. But what do you do when you're super anxious in the middle of the day and you maybe didn't get a chance to have that morning routine? A couple of things that are really helpful for me, regardless of what I'm doing, even if I'm at work. And this has worked for me when I've worked in extremely busy environments, like working with children. But it's to take a second to breathe in through my nose, filling all the way up into my belly, holding it for 3 seconds, exhaling and letting go. You can repeat this for a minute, for 30 seconds, however you'd like to do. A reminder that I want to remind us is when we're super anxious and we're going throughout the day and we're not getting the opportunity to take these full deep breaths and we're running from one place to the other, we're breathing so shallow. We're not actually actively filling up our bellies and giving our brain the oxygen that we need. So of course we would be anxious, right? But also to the fact that if we're not conscious of how we're breathing and we're allowing these anxious thoughts to take us on this roller coaster ride of a whirlwind of emotions, this isn't going to be our first thing to think, but just to be present with it, right? And how many of us have been super anxious and just not known what to do? So we just continue being anxious and feeling irritable, and that's not healthy for us. It's not good for our brain. It's not good for our body. So when we start taking these mindful practices like breathing, or if a thought comes across your head, you have a choice to say, I will get on this train, or I will simply allow this train of thought to go off without me, and I will not be participating in those thoughts as you are breathing and grounding into this present moment. And as we continue to make these beautiful habits, we will restructure our cellular makeup. We will restructure the way that our brain starts to think when it is in an anxious state. And the power of breath work is beyond so powerful. It will begin to heal us. And I'm not saying that this is going to be a one-stop shop. You're in the middle of a panic attack and you're going to start breathing and you're going to feel better. Maybe, truthfully, not after the first breath. But if you stick with it, you will begin to see and to feel the benefits. I love to set timers on my phone and on my Apple Watch to continue to breathe consciously, anxious or not, just throughout the day, because this is something that if we do not practice, we will forget. So I love to set myself up for success and have those reminders just to be present. Maybe for you, you could also have the reminders to breathe. But when you get those reminders, also just as you're breathing in, just say something that you're thankful for. Inhale in, exhale out. I am so thankful for this present moment. It may not be ideal, but I know when I stick with my breath and I am patient with myself, things will get better. I am not my feelings. My feelings are just here to show and indicate things that I am not necessarily willing to bring to the surface right now. And that is okay. That's okay. Because we are all going through it. And I hope that with these tools and with these helpful reminders, that this will make you a less anxious individual, and you will have the tools to be able to overcome that. Yes. And with that being said, that's going to conclude today's episode. Please let me know if these tips are helpful for you and what you've been doing for your anxiety as well. Before I end, I just want to remind you that you are not your feelings. You are not your feelings. Feelings come and go, but you are love at your core, and no fear can exist within. Hey guys, I had so much fun recording today's podcast episode and truly don't want the conversation to end. So if you haven't seen in the show notes, you can connect with me over on Instagram at Divine Beautiful Me or Uncharted Melanin, or you could also connect with me over at Fix Sis Yoga. I'd be so happy to answer any questions and just connect with you and get a chance to know what you're doing in your life and how you're showing up within your community. I'm looking forward to chatting with you guys tomorrow. Stay blessed.